Morning, guys. Welcome to Coffee Chat. Actually, that kind of hit me right in the back of the throat. I was about to inhale it instead of swallow it. My gosh. Anyway, coffee that's in here is kind of a recipe from my daughter where she's ground up the coffee grounds in one of these burr grinders or whatever it's called. Anyway, put that out there, plus, some half and half real cream and some maple syrup. And I'll tell you, wow, is it ever amazing? Oh my goodness, guys, I'm going to tell you, we are seeing some big things happen in the space right now, aren't we? I mean, right now, as I speak, Bitcoin is at 125,400 and some dollars. And of course, over the weekend, it hit a brand new all-time high. And there's a lot of anticipation in the market. And of course, for a major alt season. And I'm believing, guys, that we are going to see it. I think it's going to come. I think it's going to be absolutely banger. I think this is more trending towards what happened in 2017, even though there are some things that happened in 2021. I think it's a mixture of both. And I think with the ETFs coming out and all these other things coming out, it is going to be a powerful month. And you know how they say October is Uptober, guys? I think that is what it's going to be. Get yourself ready, because it is truly going to be wild. If you get to see a real alt season, now I'm talking not just little spikes up in here, but everything banging off like crazy, you're not even going to be able to digest it. And I'm so excited for you that you get that opportunity. For those of you that have never experienced it, it is mind-bending. But guys, be ready for it. Be very ready for it. I think it's going to be huge. Now, something that I want to talk about is an article that I'm reading, and also this is coming from our very good friend Versan Algera. Now, normally Versan and I, at 12 noon Central Standard Time, we do our show every week. Now, we have called it The Turning Point. Has nothing to do with Charlie Kirk. That we have called it that for years since we've been doing it. We started it all together. Anyhow, we're not going to be doing one today. We're out here in California visiting our kids and grandkids, and I talked to Versan this morning. He wasn't feeling too great, so we're not going to do any. But I want to talk about an article that I was reading, and the title of the article is Ripple is the Trust, XRP is the Bank. And this comes from a conclusion that Versan had been thinking up, and I full credit to give for Versan, but we are in agreement on this thing. Ripple is the rails, guys. They are building the infrastructure for a massive new financial system. Remember this, they are the #1 developer of central bank digital currencies. They're literally helping nation states to evolve their monetary instruments. They're building the backbone, for the evolution of that currency. On top of that, of course, they've gone out there, they've made some big-time acquisitions with Hidden Road as a clearinghouse, Mataco and Standard Custody for custody solutions. They have just gotten approval that they can custody all this stuff like anybody else. And, of course, they went out and applied with the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, for a banking license. Now, not the standard bank where you're going to go in, make deposits and loans and all that, but to be able to act in the capacity of custodying these massive digital assets. And with the institutional adoption that's happening right now, the custody, industry out there is trillions of dollars of value. That is massive. And so you can see they are laying a major infrastructure down right there. And of course, working and getting cited by the Bank of International Settlements, the International Monetary Fund, the European Central Bank, of course, the Federal Reserve, on and on and on. You can't deny the impact that Ripple is having. And so you've got that infrastructure. Now, where is XRP and all that? Well, XRP, guys, is the actual bank. That's the trust. That's where all the infrastructure is. The value, of course, is in the XRP, is in the way in which value can transfer. Because what I want to talk about is the Internet of Value. This is where it all comes down, guys. The fact of the matter is, we can see with the XRP ledger that we have the ability to tokenize these real world assets. We know that that's coming. Real world asset tokenization is literally on the minds of most every one of these major banking institutions. Because, guys, what can you see when you do that? Well, you get the tokenization of all those assets, fractionalizing things that could never be fractionalized before. Do you know how many trillions of dollars of value there is in that? Just imagine it. Imagine the possibility to fractionalize debt so the debt market is completely, supported. 300 plus trillion dollars of global debt, and most of it all, of course, all being owed to these central banks. Beyond that, you could take real estate, you could take fine art, you could take almost everything you can imagine. And of course, securities and commodities and all that being tokenized. Now, you got the Depository Trust and Clearing Corp. And of course, we know that they've already, brought in the infrastructure for, utilization of distributed ledger technology with R3 Core signing that up. And of course, they're using, XDC, XRP, and different assets like that to do it. And you've also got oh, by the way, I'm going to say this. If you think that where they settle trillions of dollars a day, DTCC, why would you not have, the actual assets being tokenized? Well, of course you would. And what I was going to say is you've got Larry Fink and a lot of these other major players like Jamie Dimon, and they are championing this idea of tokenizing securities. Because, guys, when they do, they're going to be trading 365, 24/7. Do you know the amount of volume that is going to fire through these rails? It is going to be insane. And it's the market right now. Look, it is not just these brokers going and making deals. Come on. It's all the AI models and these automated market makers that are doing thousands of transactions in a second, if not fractions of a second, that are controlling the price of a lot of these assets in the space. This space, of course, equities, securities, on and on and on. The world is evolving. That's my point. And folks are missing it. If they think for some way that, we're just going to be continuing going on as is, and we are not going to see a monetary shift with all of this, innovation that's coming. Come on, guys, you can't believe that. I mean, you're talking central banks that have went out and spent billions, if not trillions of dollars setting up the infrastructure, and you don't think they're going to use it? Come on, they're going to use it. And you and I right now are able to invest in that protocol. And when you look at a corporation like Ripple that is interconnected with so many of these major players and have positioned themselves in such a way to literally be the railroad, they are the tracks. Get that. They're what's going to help us get coast to coast and around the wide world. It's like, when they had the Industrial Revolution and they're laying down the actual railroad tracks and the train. Hey, go west, young man. Remember all that? Guys, this is the opportunity of a generation. How many folks are oblivious to it? Can you imagine? Can you imagine being that oblivious to such a change? But because it's done behind the scenes and behind closed doors and it's not, open for everybody, and most people, come on, they're being totally, kind of like dissuaded from even really thinking rationally. It's like, oh, look at this over here, some kind of nonsense in the news. So they miss all these major milestones happening right here. You and I aren't missing it. You and I, hey, if you're watching this, it's because you're interested in XRP, right? Well, I'll tell you what, there is so many layers to peel back. And in this space, and we can see with the Genius Act, and look, the Clarity Act, when that comes in, big, it is going to give jurisdiction of XRP into the hands of the CFTC. That right there, guys, I'm going to tell you, is going to be a major shift in the way things go. That Clarity Act, when that thing passes, it's going to cause some of these things to just go bonkers. And they're going to get it done. They are going to get it done. We know that that's happening. And it's just a matter of when. It's not a matter of if. Now, you just imagine where you're sitting, investing in XRP right now at these prices. I honestly believe folks are going to weep for the days when you could have bought XRP at $3. Absolutely, for sure. Look at Bitcoin over there, $125,000+. That is insane. When you think it's only been about, 15, maybe 16 years tops that the whole thing's been going down? That is phenomenal. The greatest appreciated asset in the history of mankind. And get this too. A lot of people poo-poo XRP because the price isn't up there. It's ROI, guys. It's ROI. XRP has seen major percentage moves against Bitcoin and stuff like that. And when you think about that, that to me, I'm telling you, the value that's coming is going to be tremendous, tremendous. And so many people are going to miss it. And that is one of the things you want to think about. Look at the infrastructure that's being laid. What is being built? Why are they putting these rails in place? How many countries are involved? Who are the players behind the scenes? What impacts are they having? How on earth did Ripple, as a startup, get access to all of these major players like the IMF and the BIS and all that, just as a startup? I think there's a lot more behind the curtain, I'll tell you what, guys. And this is where I really believe XRP, man alive, is it ever going to change the way the wide world is? And it's probably going to represent the greatest wealth transfer in the history of mankind. Judy and I genuinely do believe that that is our 100% biased opinion, guys. It is, and we are fully in. We are all in. And I'll tell you what, with all these people, if the ship's going down, I guess we're going down with it, because, guys, we are holding fast and we are believing. And I believe that this next month, the month of October into November, December, is going to be phenomenal, and maybe right into the first quarter of 2026. I think it's going to be wild. So, guys, get yourself ready. Big things happening. And I'll tell you what, until later on today, when we have another fantastic video for you, guys, have a fabulous one and take care.